Hi everybody, and thanks for joining us on today's Phone.com webinar. Today we'll be talking about how to create separate logins for employees and business partners on your Phone.com account. My name is Derek Arteas, and I'll be your presenter today, and I'm currently a customer service representative at Phone.com. And just a couple things before we get started. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to enter them on the GoToWebinar Questions tab, and we're going to hold all those until the end, and we'll have a nice Q&A to wrap things up. And today's challenge level is suitable for beginners, so I'm hoping anybody and everybody will get some value from the subject today. All right, so moving right on, a quick overview. There's a lot of great benefits for extension-specific logins. The first is account security. If you have a small business and you have a bunch of employees that need access to your account, this is a great way to allow them access to certain settings like checking their inbox, sending their own faxes, while not providing any access to any sensitive billing information or any account-wide settings that you don't want them to change. This is also, as you imagine, a lot more efficient, so you don't have to check their voicemails, you don't have to change the greetings, you can let them do all of those activities directly from their extension. Each Phone.com account comes with an unlimited amount of employee-based extensions. There's absolutely no limit, and it comes with one administrative user. So just to keep that in mind, at this time there's no secondary admin accounts, but I'm hoping we add that in future development cycles for you guys. All right, so jumping right in, the first step in this process is to add an extension to your account, and a good question to ask is what type of extension you should be adding for your employee. We have 4 really great extension offerings, and just to go over them briefly before I show you how to add one. We have a virtual extension. This is great for use as a virtual mailbox if you maybe want your employee to just get voicemails and have them be able to call people back. This is also really good if you want to forward directly to a cell phone or landline number, or if you want to use our Phone.com mobile app on the iPhone or Android. This is the way to go for that. Next up, we have the mobile extension. This extension type is only needed if you want to use a third-party app. It's called Bria, and it's made by Counterpath. And this is really cool. It's a soft phone for your cell phone. And what it'll do is it'll let you make and receive calls using Wi-Fi or cellular data instead of your cell phone minutes. Third, we have some computer software for the Mac or PC called Communicator, and this will let you place and receive calls directly from your computer with the headset. And last but not least, the more traditional route, we have some high-quality HD audio IP phones, or we have some adapters that you can order that'll let you hook up a traditional analog phone to your Phone.com account. So let me show you now how to add an extension real quick before we dive into setting up your employee's extension login. So to begin, we'll go to Configure at the top of your account, and we'll choose Add a User/Extension. And you'll see here we have the 4 choices we just talked about. I am going to choose Virtual Extension, just to keep it simple. And we'll choose Add Virtual Extension down here. And that'll get the extension added to the account. You'll see it added 504 new extension. If you want to see your current extension listing, you can do so by going to Configure and then Manage Users and Extensions. And you'll see all your employees are outlined here, their applicable extension numbers. Then we have their current device. If you ever want to delete an extension, simply press the trash can icon and it'll take it off. Do keep in mind if it does have a device attached to it, you'll need to contact us directly and we'll have to remove that for you. Okay, so moving on. Now that we have our extension added, the next step is to actually get logged into the extension for the employee. So this is super simple. You need 3 pieces of information to give your employee. The first is any Phone.com number on your account. Doesn't matter which one, just choose one. The second is the extension number of the employee. And the third is the voicemail password for the extension. Let me show you now how to get those 3 pieces of information, and we'll actually log into an extension so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so the Phone.com number, for this we'll go to Configure at the top, and we'll choose Manage Numbers on the left here. And let's choose our 800 number. Again, it doesn't matter which number you choose, you just need to give them any one listed on your account. So once we have the phone.com number, we'll now need the extension number. For that, we'll go to Configure again, and we'll select Manage Users and Extensions. And this will now get us to our extension listing that I just showed you earlier. We'll go ahead and choose extension 504 for the virtual extension that we just made. So of course 504 will be the extension number. And to get the voicemail password, we need to go into the settings for extension 504. To do this, we'll select the edit box next to the extension. And this will get you to the extension settings page. On this page, you'll scroll all the way down until you get to the voicemail section. And you'll notice you have a password field here. This can be changed to anything you want. It can be any series of digits, any length. If you want a random password for security, which is really good, just keep choosing the reset password button until you find one you like. If you do want to change it to something of your own, just enter the new number here and then select Save Changes. Okay, so we now have our 3 pieces of information that we need. So now what we're going to want to do is log out of the admin account. So we'll choose log out at the top here. And this is the login page that you're probably used to. You'll notice that there's 2 tabs here. There's account, which is what you usually sign into. And then there's extension, which is the extension specific login page. So we'll choose extension. And it asks for the phone.com number, extension, and password, which we just got. So let me enter those really quick. Our 800 number, and then our 504 extension, and then our voicemail password. And you choose login. So as you can see, this is the extension login page, and it looks a little different than the administrative account. As you can see, there's no configure at the top of this account, so all they have access to is account home, which ends up being their inbox, and then some generic support links at the top. So they won't be able to see any schedules you've created. They won't be able to see any account-wide call logs. So this is super secure, and it's a great alternative if you need multiple accounts on your account. All right. So moving on into some more practical stuff that you can do directly from an extension. I first wanted to talk about probably the most common, which is setting up your voicemail greeting for your employee. This process is 3 simple steps. The first is to record a greeting directly from the extension. And the next is to then attach the greeting as a standard greeting on the settings. And then last but not least is to turn on voicemail or call notifications if they perhaps want to get an email or an SMS text message about any missed calls or voicemails. Just to highlight the quick difference between call notifications and voicemail notifications. Call notifications will send you an email or text message when you receive a call on an extension, even if a voicemail is not left. So it's any call, regardless of if they leave a message or not. Voicemail notifications, on the other hand, will only send an email or text message when an actual voicemail is left. So I see a lot of people getting mixed up of the two, so just to differentiate them for you here, they're both widely different, and it's totally personal preference for what you need. All right, so let's dive in and make a greeting directly from an extension so we can show you how it looks. So to do this, we'll select greeting here on the left side navigation bar, and we'll select add a greeting. And this looks just like the administrative greeting page. There's nothing really new here except the greeting will be restricted to just this extension. So let's call this one's Derek voicemail. And your 3 greeting options, if you're not familiar with this, upload file. You can upload a file directly from your computer of a recording you've already made. If you do record from phone, you select the record a greeting button, and you enter an external number in here like a cell phone or landline, and you push call, and the phone.com system will call you, and you can record your greeting and then save it on your account. And lastly, we have text greeting. Super simple. It's probably the easiest method if you need something temporary. You just type in a message and a computer voice will read it off and you can save it. So let me type up a quick voicemail greeting. Please leave a message, thanks. Okay, so if you're doing text to greeting, you'll type up your message and then you'll choose a voice here. Professional is always a good route to go. I'll choose David. If you push preview, it will read off the message that you've created and you can hear exactly what it sounds like. So we'll save this greeting onto the extension, and that was step 1 of the process. So step 2 is to now attach this greeting as the standard greeting on this extension. In order to do that, you then go to Settings on the left side navigation bar, and on the Settings page, you scroll down to voicemail, and you'll notice we have this voicemail section again where we got the voicemail password prior. And what we'll want to do is select standard greeting, and we'll choose the greeting we made. So just to let you know, if you guys record a greeting but you never attach it as your standard greeting on the extension, the employee's voicemail will never play. So this is a critical step here. Alternate greeting is it's a good way if you have like maybe a yearly holiday greeting you want to switch to, and you can toggle that up here and then choose a greeting if you had one. We'll just leave that blank for this case. So the greeting's now attached to the extension. The third step in the process was setting the notification settings. So you'll see down here that we have voicemail notification and call notification. For this employee, I don't want him to get an email or text message for every call, just for voicemails. So what I'm going to do is choose the send an email notification, and we can enter your email in here. And you can also do SMS notifications. It can only go to one phone number, whereas email notifications you can list up to, it's about 3 email addresses. It's a 100-character limit, so give or take a couple email addresses depending on how long yours are. So we'll just choose voicemail notifications, and we just want those sent to email. And once all that is set, press Save Changes. Okay, so that was setting up voicemail, nice and quick and easy, as you can see, directly from an extension. And let's move on over to some more features. Every extension account has unlimited text messaging. This does not count in any way against your phone.com, and it's completely unlimited. So please take advantage of it. We also have faxing directly from an account. If you're adding a regular extension, then faxing is going to use about 1 minute per page that you fax. However, if you are faxing from an unlimited minutes extension, then of course faxing is going to be free. So let's go back into the extension and we can show you how to access both of these. Okay, so I'm sure you've noticed by now, but extension settings are mostly going to be accessed on the left-hand side navigation bar here. As you can see, send SMS is not an option right now, and I specifically wanted to show you guys this. This is because we don't have a caller ID set on this extension. So what you need to do first is go to the outbound call section and choose a number on your account, and then save changes. And once that reloads, you'll now see we have our send SMS button. So you click this and you enter the number you want to send an SMS to, and you enter the message you want to send, and you just push go. Nice and simple, and it sends away. And next we have sending a fax. So to send a fax, all you do is enter a fax number here. Let me make one up really quick so I can show you the next screen. Cover page is optional. You can toggle it with that, enter any information you need to enter. This one is really important. You will want to enter an email. This is going to be your only method of confirmation that your fax sends successfully. So be sure that the employee is entering their email so they can get a record that it was sent and received. And after that, you choose your file if you have any, and that attaches, and then you push preview fax. And as soon as that loads, that will give you a preview of the fax you're about to send. And once you push send fax, that'll get queued for delivery. And again, the employee would get an email as soon as that fax is delivered successfully. All right. Oh, and one thing I want to show you guys while we are here, let me back out of here. Going back to our voicemail setup, to check voicemails, you just select inbox and they'll all be listed here. And this will also show you records of sent and received SMS if they need to see those as well. All right, moving on. Another great feature of a phone.com account and also extension specific accounts is each extension has their own dedicated conference bridge. There's a lot of benefits to these. These conference bridge numbers are unlimited conference calling minutes, so this will never count against your phone.com minute usage. And each extension has a unique conference pin, so it's a private line and you don't ever have to share it amongst all the extensions on your account. These conference bridges are HD voice quality and they can support up to 500 participants. And the really great thing as well is that your bridge number will never change. So if you want to give this out for a meeting that you're going to have in a month, you don't need to worry about it ever changing. It's always going to stay the same. And let me show you how to access this information if you want to take advantage of this. Again, on the left-hand side navigation bar, you can select Conferencing and then Get Conference Bridge. And what this will do is it'll generate your conference bridge number. So you'll want to give this out to all of your participants that want to call in. You'll want to give them the conference ID, and then you will want to sign in as the moderator. And you can see there's all these participant controls and then the moderator controls, so you can have some flexibility for how your conference call goes. All right. So next up, a really awesome feature is that you can forward calls directly from an extension. You can forward these to a cell phone, you can forward these to a landline, voicemail, or a phone.com device, all on this extension. This is really great if let's say your employee's taking a vacation and you don't keep track of that personally. They can manage their own call forwarding, so you don't have to worry about that being done properly or not. Let me show you now how to set that up. So to configure call forwarding, you'll select Settings on the left, and you'll select Call Handling Rules. And let's make a really simple setup. Since we added a virtual extension, what we're going to want to do is forward to a cell phone. So we'll change field 2A select operation, and we'll change that to forward call. And let's say we'll make up an employee's cell phone number. Maybe he's a sales guy out in the field and we want to forward all calls directly to his cell phone. So we'll ring him for 20 seconds. If he doesn't pick up, then we will add another action and make this one be leave voicemail on his extension. So just to give you an idea of how this will flow, forward call, it'll send all calls directly to his voicemail, to his cell phone for 20 seconds. And then if he doesn't pick up, then it'll go straight to voicemail on extension 504. And since we did set up voicemail notifications, once he gets a voicemail, it'll send him an instant email and he can listen to his voicemail directly from his cell phone, since he's out in the field in this case. Let's save rule settings to save that. And if he ever needs to change this in the future, let's say he's going to be on vacation for the next 2 weeks, or however long, he can come back in here and just make some quick changes. So if he just wants calls to all go to voicemail for this time, we can just delete that second action. We can change forward call to leave voicemail, and we can choose his extension there. Or another cool setup, now that I just thought of it, if he wants to forward calls to a coworker that, let's say he has a sales team and he has another guy that's out in the field with him, and he wants him to receive his calls for the week, he can just choose, let's say he wants to send them to Derek, you can choose forward all calls to go to 504 to 503 until he wants to change that back. All right. So thank you so much. That was the end of this presentation. Hope you guys found some value in extension-specific logins. If you do have any other features for an extension you want to see, there's definitely a whole lot that I didn't cover and that we can go back and look at. There's address book capabilities. There's the option to set your schedule directly from an extension. So just let me know and I'd be happy to show you those. If you have any questions that do not get answered today during our Q&A, please reach out to our support line. We have 24/7 phone support at our 800 number. We have email support at support@phone.com. Chat support, you can just select live chat when you go to phone.com. And we also have our Twitter and Facebook team stand by to help you out.